These windows need cleaning.
The man's due next week.
He charges too much.
Well, we can do it, and Dave's ladder's one reach.
He smudges.
He's cheap.
He's expensively cheap. And that guttering needs doing. It dripped all last night.
Didn't hear a thing.
That's because you were snoring.
Well, I slept on my side like you said.
Well, you slept on your left side for a bit. Then your right for a bit. Then your front for a bit. And finally your back, and that's when the dogs of war were unleashed.
Sorry.
Well, if you were sorry, you wouldn't drink yourself into a coma and you wouldn't snore. It only happens when you've been drinking.
Yeah, well, perhaps I'll cut down.
Oh, like I haven't heard that before. 4 hours of your snoring and that dripping guttering. Then there's the twitching.
Twitching?
Yes, twitching. Like a small electric shock every 5 minutes.
Right.
And the grunting. It's perverse.
Anything else?
It's like trying to sleep through a hurricane. Prisoners of war suffered less.
Well, I've certainly done my time.
There's no barbed wire here. Go on, bugger off, you'll see.
Oh, for God's sake, woman, give it a rest. Nobody's going anywhere.
Stop moaning then.
Yes, that's right. I'll stop moaning.
Good. And that garden needs demossing. You can see the green patches from here. Jason's over the road doesn't have moss.
Oh, Mr. Perfect, you mean?
He keeps a tidy garden. And his windows are clean. They're late.
I expect it's that bus. I phoned them yesterday to find out the time it's supposed to be at that school.
I know. I was there, shouting out the number because yet again you didn't have your glasses.
They say 4:15, but when I've picked up the kids, they haven't been there till past.
You're obsessed with that bus company.
Oh, it's useless. They leave half the kids behind. That school needs to complain. They say they'd look into it, but they never do. I'll phone again tomorrow. Most of the time, Rebecca doesn't get a seat.
Well, she probably prefers to stand so she can talk to her friends.
She could talk for Wales, that one. I bet she's round Elliot's.
Oh, she's a madam.
She'll have all the excuses under the sun.
Well, whatever it is, it won't be her fault.
Tom's usually on time.
I bet it's that art teacher again.
Or he could be in his design class. He's got to finish that bookcase.
He's worried about that. He told me he's running out of materials.
Well, if I knew what to get, I'd go and buy it for him.
Have you recorded University Challenge?
Yes.
And Mastermind?
Yes.
Are you sure? Last time we ended up watching Channel 4 News.
I don't know what happened there.
You didn't put your glasses on and you got it wrong. Again.
Clearly.
Have you got Tom's ginger beer out of the garage?
Yes.
Are you sure? Because you know what happened last time.
Did he die of thirst?
You know very well we ran out because you didn't check it.
It wasn't on the list. You make the lists and you missed it out.
You didn't check it, so you didn't tell me we didn't have any, so I didn't put it on the list.
Tom's ginger beer and Rebecca's lemonade, oh, they're both in the fridge.
You know it's our Dave's birthday on Saturday?
Yes.
Because you always get it wrong.
I only get it wrong because he was supposed to have been born on the 19th.
That was 48 years ago. You think you'd have pulled yourself together by now? Oh, it's not even 6 o'clock yet.
It's on the way soon.
You know Tom and Rebecca don't like you drinking. Dave doesn't touch any in the week.
Well, it's just 1 or 2.
Or 3 or 4.
For God's sake, leave it! The kids will be here soon.
That's right. Shout at me. That's all you ever do. Shout at me. Drink yourself, stupid, and that bloody television.
Well, I wanted to go for a walk the other day and you wouldn't come.
You know it's my knee.
Well, get it seen to then.
I told you. I'm not having that operation again. It nearly killed me.
It wasn't the operation, it was the painkillers that wasn't right. Do you want to end up in a wheelchair?
Better that than going through that hell again.
Better for who?
Oh, that's right. All you do is think of yourself.
So, can we add that to shouting, drinking and watching television?
You can put it together with snoring, twitching, grunting and a dripping guttering if you want. Now leave it alone. The children are here.
So, how was school?
Had Mr. Lawton. Just creepy. You look pretty today, Rebecca. I look like this every day. I'm in school uniform. Then he puts his head next to mine to look at my work. That's nice, Rebecca. No, it's not. I'm rubbish at art. Ugh, makes your skin creep.
He's been there for 100 years. I reckon he doesn't retire because he's having to perv over the girls.
They've had a major load of complaints from parents.
I don't know why they don't just get rid of him.
He's not dull. He doesn't make things too obvious. He just lurks about. Dad scared him to death. He barely speaks to me now.
When did your dad see him?
Remember when I complained that the other art class were doing multimedia stuff like animation and my class were designing lame carrier bags?
No.
I told you. Dad got him to let me design an album cover in ICT. He asked Mr. Lawton whether he would have enjoyed designing a carrier bag when he was 16.
Yeah, and then he asked me all about him in my next lesson. Where did he go to school? How old he was? What music he was into? I reckon he was going to stalk him. Weirdo.
I seem to have missed this.
Like you missed the fact that Crispy stayed here after his parents threw him out.
Yeah, Bamps, missing a whole person.
Honestly, John, you're getting worse. Chris gave me such a hug.
He's okay with his parents now, probably because he doesn't live with them anymore.
He was only here one night. I remembered that.
No, he's good at art.
I'm still in his portfolio when he got me dressed as that clown.
Yeah, that's right. Portfolio.
Nothing wrong with me and Chris.
Gay.
No, it's just we have an understanding. As long as I don't have any actual ability to talk to girls, and I get to carry him home when he's drunk, I get to practice on the girls he doesn't get off with.
So needy. He is handsome, though.
You'll find a nice girl and settle down soon.
I know you mean well, Nam, but I really don't want to settle down quite yet. Just getting a girl would be good.
He wants to play the field, don't you, son?
Crispy's field.
Your dad's late again today. He needs to calm down with all this running about.
I think we'd better forget about Dave for tonight. He'll probably go straight home.
Well, I wish he'd called. I put back dinner for him. Such a waste. I don't like to think of him eating alone.
Not again.
What have you got your dad for his birthday? I thought we might get him a tie and shirt set for work. I'll get a cake from Morrison's.
I don't like their cakes.
Well, just because you don't like their cakes doesn't mean the rest of us have to miss out.
Don't you think it's a bit of a waste of money, Nan?
Just a bit of luxury.
Yes, but Dad was the only one who really liked them.
Leave it, Tom.
Look, your father works hard and he deserves a bit of pampering now and again.
But Nan...
No, I won't hear of it.
OK, what about that stack of cakes in the cupboard, unopened? Loads of cakes, mostly gone hard. If you try to eat them, they'd break your teeth. A waste.
They'll get used.
But it's ridiculous.
Leave it alone.
Fine.
Your father will eat them eventually.
That'll be scary.
Tom.
Shut up!
Don't, Bex.
I can't stand this anymore.
Your dad wouldn't put up with you speaking to me like that.
For God's sake, he's dead. Dead! He's not here for tea, he's not going to eat those damned cakes, and he's not coming home from work. He's never coming home, ever.
I just can't.
Please don't, Rebecca.
I can't bear this anymore.
Tom!
That was the lorry driver's face. Did you see it? Smashed it was, like Dad's.
Now calm down, son.
I'm not your son, Bamps. I was Dad's.
Make him stop!
Tom, please stop this.
See how easily it breaks? Just like a small car hit by a sodding truck. I'm out of here.
On your own?
I needed a bit of quiet time. Come and sit down.
Sorry, Nan.
I know.
And Tom, he didn't mean anything. I mean, he's cleaned up and everything. It's just Dad's...
Don't say it. I'm not mad. Not yet, anyway.
To be honest, I don't like it when you talk as if he's still here.
He's locked in my head, lovely. Memories. Not all good. But when you have children, you'll understand.
I don't think I'll have children, Nan. They seem hard work.
Yes, it's a life's work, all right. But I can't explain it. It's just when you've created a new life, that's it. Your life begins again. Of course, not for all, but for most, I think.
Do you still see him?
Oh, yes, of course.
Talk to him?
When I'm going about, especially in the garden. I let him know how we're all doing. I still expect to see him come through that door at dinner time. And it's not just me, your Bampy too. He copes with things in other ways.
By drinking?
Don't be too hard on him. Just the other day he was going to phone your dad to see if he wanted to go to the rugby. only child, see. It runs deep. There you are. I can talk about him, but perhaps not now. Tea time's not a good time for me. Some things are best left alone, perhaps forever. But that'll just have to be the way.
Do you think I'd be a good mother?
Oh, what a question, especially from someone who 5 minutes ago wasn't having any children.
Well, I might change my mind. Some of them are okay.
Oh, the good ones. Want to order yourself a good one, eh? Oh, good luck with that. There's a film called Angels with Dirty Faces, way before your time. I think it starred Jimmy Cagney. But that pretty much sums up most children. One minute they're so fantastic to be around and you think, that's my son. And next you're seriously considering whether they might all have been a horrible mistake. In your brother's case, it definitely was. Not horrible, mind you, just a little earlier than your parents planned. But it's not when you arrive, it's what happens after. And you've both been brought up pretty well, I think. Even me and your Bampy are coping. You're good kids, really.
I know I have my moments, but I keep thinking back to when they put him in the grave. That's my dad, I thought. Gone forever. Never will I sit on his lap. Never to nag me because my skirt's too short. Never to drag me to those silly little theatre things he was always so fond of, or take me to the rugby. And I didn't get to say goodbye, or tell him I'd miss him.
None of us got that, Rebecca. Perhaps that's why I often think of him as still being here. But actually, whatever happened, I don't think he would be gone for me.
It just hurts to remember. And when you say about him coming for tea, it's just too real, Nan. He's gone and there's nothing I can do about it.
I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I'll try my best, but it may take some time.
It's all cleaned up, Nan. I'm sorry. It got to me.
What you mean is I got to you.
A little, I guess.
I know. I know you're sorry, but not as sorry as me, sweetheart. I'll try and do better. What on earth is he doing out there?
Currently drinking beer and making up rude words to sea shanties.
I don't know why he likes those damned songs. He can't even swim. I do hope he doesn't overdo it. If he has too many, he may want to have sex.
Nan!
Honestly, he's been like a raging bull lately.
Nan!
But he is, I'm just saying.
That's sick and not in a good way.
You and Bampy, it shouldn't be allowed.
We're not dead yet.
Old people having sex should not be allowed.
Why ever not?
Because it's gross, that's why.
And we're not old.
You're 74.
Only in age. In my mind, I feel about 60 and sometimes no more than when I was a teenager. It all depends on what I'm thinking about at the time. Of course, me and your Bampy can't trip the light fantastic like we used to.
What's that?
It's basically dancing. Bampy and I met at a dance. He was a rugby player, and I had a thing for rugby players at the time. We had a mutual friend, and I dropped the hint that I fancied him, and well, it all went from there. The boys' club dance was where everyone met in those days.
Oh, I can't dance. I've seen myself trying. It's like my arms and legs don't get on.
Me and Dad tried to teach him. We had to stop, though, as the neighbours were staring through the window.
I taught your dad to dance. He can waltz and do the breakaway blues.
We've got our school prom soon. They do the waltz at the end of every year, and I'd like to ask a certain girl.
Wow, you ask a girl to dance? A little radical.
Well, if I don't do it now, there's not going to be a second chance.
What have you got to lose?
Let's see. Possibly laughed at by all her friends and yours. Having said that, have any of your friends ever asked anybody to dance? Except Crispy, of course.
Actually, they tend to ask him. So no, I'm relying on my good looks and shock factor to carry me through.
Can't wait to see that.
Well, you won't see it, because you're too young to get in my prom.
You're not helping, Rebecca.
I know.
Come on, then. I'll give you a few lessons and you'll be fine. My knee's not good, but I think I can manage to limp my way through a waltz.
Do you think this is a good idea?
Your other options are...
Fair enough.
Now, what you have to remember is that you have to lead.
Lead.
Take charge of the dance.
He's never been in charge of anything.
Can I smack her?
She keeps on, yes.
And what are you saying?
Well, don't. So take firm hold and don't forget to bend at the knees or you'll be too stiff. Don't look at your feet. Turn your head to the side. Da-da-da-da-dum, da-dum, da-dum, da-da-da-da-dee.
The Blue Danube Waltz. What a tune. Except when sung by your nan.
Not as bad as that rubbish you were singing out there.
I love a sea shanty.
It's not bad, Tom, but at the moment I'm leading. Now, you try.
Oh, it's not easy, this.
Confidence. Just move your feet in the direction you want to go, and on the night, keep away from the other couples. Rise and fall in 3 time and you're away. Don't exaggerate the movements, make them subtle.
I need practice.
When is the prom?
2 weeks.
Plenty of time.
I was an excellent dancer.
You thought you were an excellent dancer. Billy Llewellyn, he was an excellent dancer.
I used to dance with Marjorie Bennett. Your nan used to be jealous.
More fool me.
To be honest, it sounds more fun than our disco things at school. The girls dance together and the boys just watch. Boring.
They were always exciting. Most of the boys could dance after a fashion. Your dad was pretty good at the waltz.
Nan, are you all right?
Sorry, we have to stop.
It's okay.
It's just...
Don't worry.
I will teach you, I promise.
I know.
I just have to pop to the kitchen.
I thought it might be too much. Your nan's not going to be your nan for a while, kids. She comes and goes. Go and keep her company, but don't bring up your dad, otherwise you'll start her off.
Well, actually, I'm off to town with my friend, and I've got to go get Rachel's ID.
It's a school night, and I don't like you going out and drinking. You're not 18, you know.
And I suppose you and Nan never drank when you were 16? And it's a teacher's training day tomorrow, so no, it's not a school night, really.
And I'm going around Crispies, which means Nan is down to you.
I'm telling you, Rebecca, I'm not happy with you going to town in midweek. And this whole fake ID thing.
I'm going to get ready.
Tom.
Hey, she's your granddaughter. Nobody said this was going to be easy. See you later.
I can see it's going to be another fun-filled night. It'll be our Dave did this and do you remember when? The fact is, I never loved him. Especially when he was a kid. Not like his mum. He was always off with the bloody fairies. Couldn't settle with anything. Didn't like the cubs, didn't like horse riding. Too much chlorine in the sodding swimming pool. We must have tried everything. But to be honest, he just mainly irritated me. But of course you couldn't tell Eileen. She'd have beaten me to death with the nearest blunt instrument if she'd known. She probably still would. I spent my time at the rugby club, and I even sang with a rock and roll band for a while. Quite rebellious for the time. See, I did something, whereas Dave just melted into the background. Oh, he wasn't a bad rugby player, but he didn't have the stomach for it, really. Tried to get him playing for my old club, but as usual he gave up on that as well. And now this. Things were strained before he went and got himself killed, and now she's impossible. She's worrying the kids. She's driving me to distraction. I mean, it starts with sympathy, but to be honest, after a while it becomes annoying. We should be settled and enjoying our retirement, but life's just become a battleground. I've decided to use other methods to get me through this. Not sure my liver approves, but after a few swift ones I can forget that things have turned to crap. I should have married Marjorie Bennett. But still, we went to her funeral last year. Cancer. If it's not that, it's heart attacks or strokes. We don't get a phone call these days without finding out somebody else has died. But when that policewoman came to the door about our Dave, well, that was something else.
John, come in here. I want to talk to you.
Oh, deep joy.
Are you sure you've raked that lawn?
Raked, scarified it within an inch of its life, and weed killer and moss laid down.
good. One day it may be as good as Jason's.
Oh, we can only live in hope.
I must say the windows are looking better, though.
Not as good as Jason's, though, eh?
Well, no. I can still see some smudges in that corner, and here, look. You could eat your dinner off Jason's.
Wouldn't that be defying gravity a little?
Sarcasm has never suited you.
Neither does DIY, but I still have to do it. I do hope they're on time today.
Well, I hope it's Tom first. It'll give us a chance to talk to him. Do you think Rebecca knows?
She's the centre of the universe, remember? You can bet your life she knows.
Oh, I can't believe it.
I know.
I always thought it would be Rebecca. She's the wild one.
Apparently not.
Do you think social services will take them away?
I think social services have bigger concerns than a cannabis-smoking teenager.
Oh, God, I do hope so. Their father is going to go mad.
That's the least of our problems, believe me.
I thought he was such a good boy.
Well, let's face it, he couldn't be the perfect son forever now, could he? Mind you, there have been signs. Remember when he didn't want to have anything to do with his dad? And a certain crockery-smashing session?
Dave put too much pressure on that boy. I said he'd rebel in the end.
But he's not exactly Che Guevara now, is he? I bet all his friends have tried it.
I don't care if the world and his wife have tried it. Tom shouldn't be going anywhere near that stuff. It rots the brain.
One cigarette isn't going to affect him.
And how do you know it's the only one? This is the first time he's been caught. Doesn't mean it's the first time he's smoked cannabis. He could have been at it for years. Imagine the next parents' evening. I mean, what do you say? I hope the school is clamping down on such behaviour. Get the ringleaders. That's the trick.
Well, Tom's only got a warning and a week's suspension.
Only? Only? It's a disgrace. When he comes in, I want you to get to the bottom of this.
Why me? He's more afraid of you.
Oh, that's right. Take the easy route. Leave it to me again.
Leave what to you? We've always dealt with him together and we'll do the same now.
I blame that school. They're too easygoing. They never enforce the uniform, you know. The arguments Rebecca and Dave have over the lengths of her skirts. Really. And the school says nothing.
Well, they've said something now.
Too late. He could be an addict for all we know.
Cannabis is not addictive.
Who says?
Doctors, medical professionals.
I don't trust them.
Well, they did all right by you.
Oh, only gave me the wrong painkillers.
You'd never had morphine before, so how were they to know?
Useless they were.
Take it from me, cannabis is not addictive, so Tom can stop whenever he wants. Well, it's better than smoking ordinary cigarettes.
So you say.
Look, when he comes in, we'll have it out with him. Now keep calm and don't go all hysterical.
He's probably just copying you.
And there we have it. I wondered how long it would take.
Well, you smoke those foul things.
But he doesn't. Look, here he comes. Now calmly, Eileen, for God's sake. You know how it affects your blood pressure.
I don't think I can.
Well, try.
I'll be in the kitchen.
I'll bring him in. There's no point in you hearing about it second hand.
Fine. Shirking your responsibility again, then.
No, you just need to hear this. And just when you thought things couldn't get any worse. We received a letter from your form tutor today.
I wondered how long it would take.
Why didn't you say something, for heaven's sake?
I thought I was dealing with this.
You are. Sort of. Do you realise how embarrassing this is? It's shameful, Tom. They may take you away from us.
I don't think they will, Nan. I mean, I'm not the first to be caught smoking weed in school, and all the others I know still live with their parents.
Yes, but they don't live with their grandparents. They may think we can't control you, that you're running wild. Are you ill?
Ill?
Are you depressed?
Do I seem depressed to you?
I don't know. Everyone seems to be suffering from it these days. Are you happy?
I don't think you've quite got the idea of depression, Eileen. Was it curiosity, Tom?
Yeah, I guess. Mixed with a little bit of being fed up of always doing the right thing. And as usual, as soon as I step out of line for a second, Sheldon comes crashing through the toilet door and nails me. What a complete and utter
Tom!
I'm nearly 18 now, and I can swear if I want.
Not under this roof.
Would you like me to leave?
Of course not. But we don't like that sort of language, Tom.
I know. Good boy Tom will have to stop then, won't he?
Are you sure you're not depressed?
No, Nan, I'm not depressed. Just, God, I don't know. Fed up with my life.
But you have a good life, don't you? Can we do anything?
No, Nan, you can't do anything.
Is it because of your dad?
There's no reason, I just wanted to try it, okay? Sometimes there is no reason. And yes, I realise me and Rebecca are orphans, but I can live with it. Just drop it. I won't do it again. I'm bound to be caught anyway. I think Sheldon's got a tag on me. It's just spooky.
It's that school's fault. Who did you get it off? That's who they should be suspending. No, expelling. Cut out the rotten wood.
Does it matter? I won't be doing it again. Apparently Tom the Rebel doesn't work. My friends say I'm jinxed, so I might as well go back to being me.
Sorry I'm late. I won't lie to you. I was talking with a lush boy and just lost track of time.
Oh, God, she'll be pregnant soon.
No chance. I've decided, Nan, I'm not having one of those dirty, smelling, peeing things.
Less of that language.
What's it all coming to?
Sorry, I was still in friends mode. Switching to Nana Bampy. Click.
I hope you don't talk like that outside.
Of course I do. We all do. My posh friends are worse than me. I think they think it makes them hard and stuff.
I don't like it.
But you're not there to stop me. Just be grateful I'm not Chantal. She swears at her mum all the time. And her mum swears back. It's like World War III in their house, or mansion I should say. All that many of you think they'd be la-di-da instead of F this and B that. Yep, I'm in nanny bamping mode.
Disgraceful.
Is that what I think it is?
Leave it. I forbid you to read it.
Forbid away, this is brilliant.
Brilliant? What's brilliant? Your brother's been suspended.
Up until now, I've had my suspicions that you weren't really my brother, but perhaps you are after all. Easily the sickest thing you've ever done. It almost makes you worth knowing.
I don't need your approval to be alive, thanks.
Sarah Davis says she's looking at you in a whole new light. And she's not poor. You could get all the weed you wanted to if you went out with her.
Rebecca!
It's true. She bought her last boyfriend an Xbox. Then he dumped her, so she's available, Tom.
Sarah Davis is an airhead, and what's worse, she's one of your friends, so she can be as rich as she wants. I'm not going anywhere near her.
Apparently, she goes all the way on a couple bottles of wine.
Really?
No wonder this country is going to the dogs.
I don't think Sarah Davis is responsible for the poor economy bumps. In fact, I doubt she even noticed there's a recession on.
Well, she sounds like a slut to me.
Hearing most of the girls in my year, then.
She goes all the way?
Yes, Tom. And like you, she's not a virgin.
Who says I'm a virgin?
I do. Can you prove otherwise?
Please, don't answer that, Tom.
Leave him alone.
If I'd strike while the hour's hot if I were you. There's bound to be some new cannabis-smoking bad boy along soon, and you'll be yesterday's news. And Sarah Davis might be dull as hell, but she's blonde and rich. I can set you up if you want.
I don't trust you.
Suit yourself. Be a virgin.
Now that's enough.
Do you and your friends talk like this to each other?
No, Nan, much worse. Would you rather if I didn't talk in front of you?
No, I guess we have to look after you, so we might as well hear about these things.
That's the spirit. You see, your granddaughter's in with the cool crowd. Hell, I am the cool crowd.
Who made you prom queen?
Me. Me and my general coolness. I'm pretty and clever and cruel, and boys can't resist that.
I could.
You're a geek and girls like me are unattainable. I stick with Sarah Davis. Just make sure you've got enough money for a few bottles of rosé and you're in.
Well, I suppose she doesn't have to know I'm not smoking weed anymore.
Go on then. Normally I'd grass you up, but I won't say if you won't. Might be nice to have a relatively cool brother for a while. Of course, you'll mess it up at some point, but get it while you can, bro.
Does your dad know you have these conversations?
Nan, Dad's dead. He's been dead for 6 months, and I think it's time you got over it.
Rebecca!
I hate to agree with Big Mouth, but she's right. It's time you stop treating Dad like he was still here. It makes it harder on everyone, and especially you, Nan.
He's not dead!
Sit down, Eileen.
I don't want to sit. Get out, all of you!
No, Eileen, I'm staying. They're right, if not exactly subtle. You need to get a grip on reality. Look, you two clear off and go and do your homework or something.
Sorry, Bamps.
Eileen, you have got to stop this. It's getting to the kids and, to be honest, me as well. Except that he's gone, for God's sake.
I see him all the time. In the garden, on my way to the shops, even on the bus. And he's there, and he smiles. You know he never really smiled much, but he does now. I need him to be here, don't you see that? And he wants to be here too. So let him stay. Please don't drive him away.
Oh, nobody's driving anybody away. Oh, it's just memories, Eileen. Good memories, but that's all. And of course he'll always be with us, but the fact is he died in a motorway accident and that was the end of it.
Not for me.
Eileen!
Please leave.
Oh, this will never bloody end at this rate.
Get out. You never loved him anyway, so what do you care?
Well, at least I'm living in the world of now, for Christ's sake. Oh, I'm off down the pub.
Good. Don't bloody come back. He doesn't understand, Cariad. And he never will.
Can I come in?
Just this once, yes.
God, how old are you?
What are you on about?
The fluffy toy zoo, that's what I'm talking about?
Look, you are never allowed into my room normally, so sit down, shut up and listen.
So is it true then, what you said in school?
Yeah, big time. We must have some kind of sign on our foreheads. Perhaps we can make our own film. Welcome to the Children of the Damned, because quite frankly, that's what we're becoming. Mum dies of a heart condition, Dad gets smashed into by a lorry, and now Nana's breast cancer. If I were Bampy, I'd leave the country before we can get him as well.
You wouldn't believe all this could happen to one family. Even my friends are starting to worry that I really am some kind of jinx. Anything that goes wrong, they keep on looking at me as if it's my fault.
Tom, you are jinxed. I've never known anybody to get into so much trouble without doing anything. Remember when Doody and his mob smashed the window? They blamed it all on you and you got detention. Hilarious.
Not quite the same as your immediate family dying, plus I'm not going to argue with that lot. A little detention I can take. Months, if not years of being used as a punch bag, I cannot.
Stand up for yourself, you wimp.
You have no idea. Anyway, this isn't about me, remember? Yet another family member is about to peg it.
This looks bad for me.
What?
Cancer is hereditary. You know, passed down through the genes.
Not always. Plus, you have checks and stuff, don't you?
Well, checking isn't going to stop me from getting it now, is it?
Could you possibly step out of Rebecca world for a moment? If or when you'll get it, I'll worry.
Not as much as me.
Maybe not, but for now, we're going to have to concentrate on Nan. Agree?
Yeah, I know, but this is becoming ridiculous.
We'll just have to do the best for her that we can.
To be honest, Tom, I'm not good around illness.
Well, you're going to be good around this one because she's given us everything she could since we were infants. How many times have they picked us up from school? You only have to say it's raining and they're there. How many times have we found money in our pockets that we didn't know we had? And who stepped up when Mum and Dad were gone? Do you really think they want to be parents again at 74? So you're going to be an angel, at least when they're around.
Okay, but I'm still not happy.
Then be unhappy. You can't change it, so live with it. Bampy's going to need our help. I can't see her going to hospital.
She's not. I heard Bambi trying to persuade her to have the chemotherapy, but no luck. She said she wants to die at home with all her hair and not looking like a freak.
She certainly can be a stubborn woman. Who does that remind me of?
But what can we do? We do chores now.
We'll do more.
Like what?
I don't know. What do you do for people who have cancer? What did you hear Bampy say altogether?
Just that they told her last week and she wanted nothing to do with the doctors or hospitals.
Well, that seems pretty sorted.
But Bampy wanted her to go in. I think they're going to get the Macmillan nurses involved if they can, and she's happy with that. She's also willing to go to a hospice when things get bad.
Christ, this is unbearable.
I know, it's awful, isn't it?
What about Bampy?
Difficult to say. He was pissed, so who's to tell? If he had been any louder, I'm sure the whole street would have heard. I was lying here and I could hear every word.
Well, you better lay off it because he's got to look after her.
There's also a problem with the painkillers again. They are working, but wearing off before she can have the next. Nothing she takes ever seems to work.
What the hell has she done to deserve this?
Nothing, and that's what makes it worse.
Did Nan ever smoke, you think?
Are you mad? It's not lung cancer.
No, I don't mean like that. It's just, well, I hear cannabis can act like a kind of painkiller, and doctors aren't going to prescribe that, are they?
Have you lost your mind? If you go buying more weed, you're bound to be caught. It stands to reason with your luck.
It's worth the risk. She'd do it for us.
Tom, she'd lie under a train for us. Or at least tell Bambi to. So it's not comparing like with like, is it?
I'm going to do it. At least it feels like I'm doing something.
You're nuts. Mind you, Sarah Davis likes the bad boy, so a spell in jail might keep her interested.
Yes, I'm going to do this to get laid. What else would I do it for?
I'm just saying.
Well, please don't.
Is she any good in bed?
Ask her, because I'm not telling you.
I bet it was quick.
I don't think you're real, you know. Nan has cancer. I'm trying to get some pain relief for her, and all you're interested in is my sex life.
Not really. I'm just trying to make the best of a bad job when you're caught again.
It'll only be a small amount.
Second offence. Naughty, naughty.
Would you rather see Nan in pain? Would you?
No. Here, have this.
Where did this come from?
I saved it.
But you never stay in.
I also never buy drink or pay to go into a club. That's what boys are for.
How much is here?
Over 100. That should do it, right?
Pretty much. What if she turns it down?
Do you want to go and ask her first?
Better we just get it and take it from there.
We can always resell it at school.
I believe that's called dealing.
Yeah, well, I'll do it because as soon as you try and sell it, Sheldon will be straight down your throat.
Right, it's on then.
And Tom,
Yes?
it's a good thing you're doing. I'm almost emotional.
Well, whoop-dee-doo. Listen, Nan, we have to talk to you about something.
It's a bit awkward, and to be honest, we think you need to hear it.
I knew it. I said to your Bampy this would happen.
What?
I told him one of these days you'd get yourself into a situation, Rebecca, that you couldn't get out of. I don't believe in abortions, you know. It's just not right.
No, Nan, I'm not pregnant. Not even close, believe me.
You're not a drug addict. Tell me it isn't that.
No, Nan, but this is sort of related.
You're a dealer.
No, I'm not.
Well, that's good, because I know these dealers make a lot of money, but they take risks as well. I saw it on Panorama.
I heard you and Bambi arguing the other night.
Me and your Bampy argue all the time, lovely. But we aren't going anywhere, that's for sure. We're both too old to move on.
We know about your illness. Rebecca heard you talking about it.
My God, that man has a lot to answer for. He's like a foghorn. Now, you needn't worry. I've got plenty of time left, and you'll both be taken care of. I've got some savings, and when me and Bampy have both passed on, this house will be yours. I also have my life insurance, which should be a tidy...
With all the best will in the world, Nan, shut up. We don't care about the money or the house. We just care about you.
I'll be fine. I've got painkillers and nurses coming. It's all taken care of.
You are unbelievable. Listen, Nan, we know the painkillers aren't lasting long enough, and yes, it was Bambi who I heard that off too. We aren't going to sit here and try and change your mind about going to hospital or anything like that.
I won't go. I don't trust those doctors, and I'm not losing my hair, not for anybody. Our Yvonne had it. She looked terrible, and it didn't do her any good. 6 months she lasted. I won't have it.
We've made some cookies. We put them in the cupboard in the kitchen. When the pain comes, try one. We won't kid you. We've put cannabis in them.
What on earth?
Only a little bit, but we're experimenting. If this doesn't work, then we may have to make them stronger.
You've made space cakes.
You know about space cakes.
I know more than you think. I saw them in Amsterdam on that cruise. They advertised them in the cafes.
You didn't try one by any chance?
Good gracious, no. Not something me and your Bampy would do. No, it's not for us, and it's not for me, that's for sure.
Listen, Nan, it may help take the pain away. It's been tried before and it worked.
But I might go out of my mind.
So what? What have you got to lose? At worst, you'll have a nice buzz, and at best, it may mean you don't have to suffer so much.
It's normally smoked. We know you don't, so hopefully you can take some this way.
Where did you make them?
We went over to a friend's house while their parents were away and did 6. We weren't sure how much to put in, but they taste okay.
You've tried them?
Yes, and they were bloody effective, I tell you.
Quite a high.
But not too much, just enough to make you, well...
Happy.
Yes, happy. And if it works, you can just eat one when your own painkillers don't work.
Think of it like a prescription.
You shouldn't have done this. You could have got into trouble. You could have been expelled or put in jail.
It's done. I'm not expelled, and I passed a policeman earlier on today, and he paid no attention at all.
Don't be facetious with me, Tom Jenkins. I'm telling you this for your own good.
Okay, sorry. I know, but please. We don't want to see you in pain, and we've got enough to last for ages.
Please let us do this, Nan. Just try them, and if it doesn't work, well, it doesn't. But it just might.
It would mean a lot to us. You don't have to try them right now. They keep for a long time, just when things become difficult.
Think of it like an alternative medicine.
Your Bampy says it's not addictive.
It's not. You can stop when you like.
It's far safer than tobacco.
Says you. Don't you go doing this again, mind. I don't want you getting into trouble for me.
We've got enough to last for a while, so we'll see how things go.
Well, if things get bad, and I'll be truthful, there have been times, I will give them a try, but I'm a bit afraid of what they'll do.
We'll stay with you if you want while you try one. It'll be fine.
You'll probably feel a little bit lightheaded.
And them.
And that's the effect we're after.
And perhaps a little giggly.
And hungry.
All this from a space cake.
Hopefully.
I know you two are just trying to help. You understand why I'm not going into hospital, why I don't want chemotherapy.
It's your life, it's your decisions.
We respect whatever you want. You've always been there for us, and now it's our turn.
And it's no problem at all. Even Becky's on board.
It's not like I don't have a heart, brother. I'm just not sickly sweet like you.
Stop it. OK, if things get bad, I'll try one of your cakes. But if I don't like it, I won't have them again. It is illegal after all.
Technically not, because this is just for our own personal use.
And you wouldn't even get a caution from the police.
And it won't make me do anything silly.
I don't think you're capable of doing anything silly, so you won't do anything silly.
OK. But let's keep this from your Bampy for now. He's funny about this sort of thing.
Evening all.
We may be too late.
Jesus!
John?
Yeah?
I'm just going, Nan.
He's all yours.
What are you doing?
Reading the paper.
You have no clothes on.
Well, I was hot.
Have you been snacking again?
I just had one of those cookies in the jar. I don't remember buying those.
They were for me.
Well, there's still plenty left. Did one of the kids make them in school?
It was a joint effort.
Oh, I'm glad to see they're getting on. Working together is a good sign.
I think you ought to put your clothes on.
Well, why?
The children.
Well, they're not here.
No, but they will be back.
Oh, I'll have cooled down by then, I expect.
John, put your clothes back on now.
No.
John?
Yes, dear.
Oh, dear me. Now go and get dressed.
No. I could go for another one of those cookies, though.
They have cannabis in them.
Oh, gracious, that's shocking. How did that get in them?
The kids put it in.
Why?
To help relieve my pain.
And?
And what?
Well, did it work?
I don't know. I haven't had one yet.
Oh, you should. They're lovely.
Please go and put some clothes on.
Do you know, we should spend more time naked. It's very liberating. Do you remember when I sang in that rock group? Oh, we was great.
I do remember, and you weren't great.
The girls screaming.
Get off.
What?
That's what they used to scream. And the boys. It's a shame you couldn't hear yourself. It was rubbish.
No, you must be mistaken.
No mistake.
Da-da-da-da. Great balls of fire!
If ever I needed a cookie, it's now.
Da-da-da-da. You much loving drives this
My
man
God,
insane.
these cookies are huge.
You broke my will. Oh, what a thrill!
Well,
goodness
I'll give them
gracious,
something.
great balls
They
of
taste
fire.
okay.
Hey! Oh.
Terrible. I suppose you want to have sex now.
Ho, 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 you bet!
Race you to the bedroom.
When you start your life as an adult, I think most people, if they knew what was ahead, would throw themselves under the nearest bus. To see your daughter-in-law die, followed by your only child. Incredible. You hear it so often. So-and-so dies from unknown heart condition, or there's a fatal road crash. And the kids have gone through the lot. It hasn't been easy dealing with them and Eileen's illness. So often I just wanted to leave. Just go and live my own life without all this damn tragedy. But I didn't. I hope there is a God, because he owes me big time. And of course, now I'm alone. This one's gone.
Right, I'm all packed and ready.
Are you sure about this?
Yep. Crispy's mad idea about becoming extras just might work. I mean, he might get to talk to the director about his art films. Plus, he can't look after himself. He has the life skills of a gnat. Oh, and I might get laid on a regular basis.
Oh, is that all you think of?
And what did you think about at my age?
Oh, fair enough.
At least it means you can stop worrying about me and get on with your own life.
Tom, I will never stop worrying about you or your sister. You will come back now and again.
Of course, the work is piecemeal, and where else would I go?
So it'll be Christmas.
Oh yeah, who wants to spend Christmas miles away from home? See you, Bamps. Be good and not too much of the booze.
No, I won't. And this one.
Well, you knew this day would come, Bampy. I always was the brightest star in the family.
And the most modest.
What's the point in hiding your light? The term's not that long, so I'll be back before you know it.
You must do what's best for you now. Don't you worry about me.
I know it's been hard, Bamps, but you've done okay. You and Nan did right by us, and I guess we didn't turn out too bad.
No, we did our best. And I think in this case our best was good enough.
Well, I expect I'll see you at Christmas.
Yeah, we'll have a nice family get-together.
I know I don't say it much, but you know I love you, Bamps.
Oh, yes. I always knew it, lovely.
Bye, Bamps.
Goodbye, sweetheart. And this one too. I'm sorry, Eileen,
For what?
for never loving you like I should.
I knew. It was because I was hard on you, and perhaps I spent too much time on Dave.
And my dreams. You never believed in my dreams.
I wanted security, John, and rock and roll didn't seem to offer it.
We could have been good,
You could have been, or you could have got nowhere like most of them.
I guess. Dave was the end, wasn't he?
He was my whole life, and perhaps he shouldn't have been. But you never let us down, John. You were a good provider, if perhaps a little absent at times.
I really miss Dave growing up, and I can't get that back.
Did all right with Tom and Rebecca, though. We both did.
Yeah, we did a fine job. I miss you. You know that.
I know.
I've got nobody to tell me where I left my glasses or that I've recorded the wrong station again.
They're on your head, in case you were wondering. I've got to go now.
I know. $5. It must be time for tea.
Tea at 5 was written by Ross Salvage and directed by Andrew Pippen. Meryl Herbert played Eileen, John was played by Lyndon House. Weslee Van Biljon played Tom, and Rebecca was played by Christine Jennifer Felkin. The producers were Nick Jones and Jacob Strong, and it was a Magic Gyratory production in conjunction with Theatre Ad Hoc.